So the Fever do take down the Connecticut Sun, but the big news is that it looks like Caitlyn Clark is injured again. So there is some really scary, sad, I don't know, it might be earth-shattering to some news. It looks like Caitlyn Clark did get injured again in her right groin this time. The previous groin injury was her left groin, and it is not looking good because groins are an injury that do take quite a while to actually fully heal. According to Jesse Moore, MD, he is a regenerative medicine doctor. He does specialize in sports, and this is what he said about Caitlyn Clark's injury. Clark appears to have re-aggravated her right abductor groin strain. The tricky part about groin strains is that they are a very slow healing tissue, easy to re-injure, and constantly required for anything involving her legs. Sometimes even shutting them down for a couple weeks isn't enough. I've had good luck with injecting these specifically at where the abductor, usually longus, tendons attached to the pubic bone with stem cells, ideally allografts, I think I'm saying that right, as weaker and inflammatory options like PRP are usually not strong enough and cause too much downtime. These are quite common in NFL players. Whatever the medical staff is doing right now is unfortunately not enough. Now, I don't know if this guy is just like kind of grifting off of the injury since he does specialize in stem cells, but it's kind of weird because just today I was actually watching something that was talking about stem cells. I listen to a lot of podcasts that talk about stem cells. I do hear that they are kind of amazing for especially soft tissue healing. So taking a look at the play, right here, right here is where she just grabs her groin. And it is a direct result from stepping back, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, she kind of pull up.
Apparently the broadcasters are saying it's when she pulled up right there. But she's walking away. Yeah, puts her head up like that. She does walk over to the bench and does not look happy. Very frustrated, hits her head on the stanchion. Oh man, this is so heartbreaking.
The groin injury. Right here, she explodes.
Yeah, it's an energy explosion.
Makes the backdoor pass. And immediately grabs the inside of that right leg.
So this, again, is the right groin as opposed to the left groin, which was the injured groin previously. I think the weight of the All-Star game was a lot. I mean, the All-Star game was such a big deal for Caitlyn Clark. It's literally like she's hosting a dinner party, except basketball, which is like one of the biggest things for her. She really, really does cater to the crowd. She really does love her fans. I don't know when and if the All-Star game will ever be played in Indiana again. And so this was something I think she was very much looking forward to. She was the team captain of her team. She had just been announced to the three-point contest today. And I think she understands the gravity of the situation of her not being able to play. The timeline for groin strains, if it's a mild groin strain, they say it's 1 to 2 weeks. I seriously doubt it's only 1 to 2 weeks for her. She just has not looked herself on the court. It's been kind of an obvious thing in my eyes. And I recently did talk to a sports medicine surgeon, and she mentioned that if you have any injury or you're working through any injury anywhere in the general vicinity of your body, the muscles in the surrounding area of the injury tend to work harder to kind of make up for what the injured area is doing. The injured area is healing, it is new tissue. So those muscles working harder are easier to injure. Not to mention the tissue that is building is new. So you have to be very lenient on how much you work on it because new tissue needs time to develop and kind of catch up to the other muscle tissue around it. She only played 5 games since she's been back with her left groin injury. So, this is kind of really sad news for a lot of the Fever fans. This is really sad news for her team. This is really sad news for Caitlyn Clark herself. And I mean, people in Indy are just going to have a vigil or something. According to Alexa Philippou, Stephanie White said that Caitlyn Clark felt a little something in her groin and will be evaluated after the apparent injury. I mean, she has just been off this whole season, especially at the 3-point line. At some point in the middle of the game, I saw that Alexa Philippou had noted that Caitlyn Clark has a truly unbelievable stat line. She had to double check it to believe. She was 0 for 4 at the time and 1 for 32 on the road. That signifies something a little more is going on. This is something that I have been feeling for the past week watching her. But she is just heartbroken. I mean, this is her sitting on the bench. At one point, I know that she had like a towel covering her face because you don't want everyone to see you cry, but she kind of, has tears in her eyes here. Oh man, yeah, she is just heartbroken and in pain. And it might seem like overkill to be worried so much about an injury for Caitlyn Clark, but an injury for Caitlyn Clark does affect the entire league, as was noticed when she went out with her second injury and the WNBA viewership went down 55%. And this is All-Star Weekend, which was gearing up. I mean, she was going to play with Asia Wilson for the first time. She was going to play with Sonia Citron. She was going to have her indie teammates. She was going to go up against Nafisa Collier. And when you play a sport, like I remember when I was playing sports, you don't just want to sit there and watch. You want to play. And for someone to have as much of an injury-riddled season as Caitlyn Clark has, it's torture. But think of Michael Jordan in his second season. I think he missed most of his second season. It seems to be going the same way for Caitlyn Clark. When I did the interview with the sports surgeon, I did ask her if it was possible that gaining so much weight in the offseason had anything to do with her groin injury, because that's the injury that was going on at the time. And the surgeon told me that Caitlyn, and by the way, this surgeon was also a former basketball player, a big fan of the WNBA, and specialized in sports surgery. So she told me that the weight gain that Caitlyn Clark had put on should not have a significant effect on injuries like this. She would have to have had put on a lot more weight. And by weight, I mean muscle gain. At 10:11 p.m., Colin Clark, which is Caitlyn Clark's brother, did post this to Twitter. Make no mistake, this is on the reffing. So her brother was very upset. As a matter of fact, there was one point where Caitlyn Clark got into a heated discussion with one of the referees. She says, "That's just rude. Grow up. Come here, come here." Unbelievable. I'm going to call the league on you. And yeah, we're going to need to get some better lip readers for this part. Sophie Cunningham also walked up to one of the refs, and apparently the ref said that she was flopping on this play. This play right here where Nelson Adota elbows her, very clearly elbows her. And the ref apparently said that she was flopping, and she took to social media to call it out when she said, "They said I flopped. LOL." The Fever did end up winning the game. The Connecticut Sun were right on their tails very often, making it a 1, 2, and 3-point game. This was kind of an ugly game, but they did win 85-77. There was a severe lack of screens. I don't know what is going on with the Indiana Fever. Aaliyah Boston needs to really start setting them more. I think everybody needs to get better at screens. But these stats today were Natasha Howard coming away with a double-double with 18 points and 13 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell dropped a 20-piece with 20 points. Caitlyn Clark did end the game with 14 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds. Aaliyah Boston had 11 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds, and I don't think she got enough touches for the game. There was a lot of missed bunnies. There was a lot of missed layups. I mean, they shot 49%, and at the 3-point line, they shot an abysmal 26%. But that was nothing compared to what the Connecticut Sun shot at the 3, which they shot 20%, and their field goal percentage was 36%. So, I mean, they better have won this game because honestly, the shooting was just really bad. There were a lot of turnovers. The Connecticut Sun had a total of 10 steals, and Indiana had 12 total turnovers to Connecticut Sun's 8 turnovers. I have noticed that the Indiana Fever so often play down to the teams and they play up to teams. So it depends on who they're matching up against as to how their performance is. I mean, that's how it's been. I was very hopeful that in 2 to 5 games, the Indiana Fever would start humming along, but yet again, they have suffered another really big setback.